Hey guys, welcome to August. And I'm going to just tell you right now, it's something phenomenal. I have my hair down, and I haven't done that probably ever in August. It is usually way too hot, and my hair is down. So, hey, happy August for me. It's a very happy month. It is birthday month. My kids go back to school. Some of you have a few more weeks left, so enjoy that. But here we are. I want to talk about something today that we usually don't talk about in a productive way. It's usually something we complain about, and it's toxic behaviors of the people in our life. And a lot of times what happens is we refer to them as toxic people. So I want to dive in just a little bit today and I'm sorry, I'm not going to dive in. I'm going to kind of skim the surface. We're going to do a deep dive in my live on Thursday night. But I want to start with, it's very important for us to make a differentiation between toxic people and toxic behaviors. I don't really believe that the world is populated with an enormous amount of toxic people. Are there toxic people they're just bad all the way to the core? Yes, there are plenty of those. Psychotics, people who do really horrible things. We could absolutely say, probably, at least even from a legal standpoint, that they are a toxic person. But most of the time when we are talking about toxic, it's the behavior. So we have people in our life who have toxic behavior. They as a person, they are not toxic. They just demonstrate toxic behavior. And that's a really important differentiation because it helps us focus on the behavior and not label the person. So that's the first thing. The reason why we have people in our life who demonstrate toxic behavior, I had to catch myself there, is usually one of two reasons. The first being history. I have known them since I was 12. They were the only friend that I had growing up, or they are friends of my parents, or however we know them. We've known them because of history, and because of the history, we keep them in our life. The second, and this is the most popular, is that we are related. We are related to people who demonstrate toxic behavior. So I want you to remember something. Here's key. Remember, we do not have to stick around for someone else's unresolved trauma. We all have trauma. We all have something that has shaped our life, helped us form opinions, have created a phobia or an anxiety or something. We all have through life experiences. That's what life does. And if we aren't learning from that, if we don't grow from that, if we don't develop in a healthy way from whatever has happened in our life, it's trauma and it's unresolved. And a lot of times what we do is we kind of throw up on everybody around us with that when we get triggered. But I want you to know, I want to give you permission that if you have people or a person in your life who you know it's unresolved trauma in their life, maybe they were raised by alcoholics, abuse, or they had something that they were made fun of as a child, whatever, the list is so great I couldn't even give you enough examples. But you know you have somebody who has unresolved trauma and they continue to abuse the people around them. You don't have to stick around for it. You don't have to be the doormat to somebody else's unresolved trauma. Okay? So that's the first thing that we have to remember when we're talking about somebody else's toxic behavior. The key, and I just want you to hear me lean in a little bit. The key is knowing when to create distance and knowing when to be patient and invest in somebody's growth and betterment. That is a really hard line to walk, and it's a really hard thing to see. And oftentimes we have to get an outside perspective of whether or not a person is somebody that we need to say, you know what, there's a boundary here, and I have to create a little bit of a wall or a space or a distance. Or is this a person who this is a person who, yes, there's toxic behavior, but I believe in their growth. I believe in their betterment. I believe that I can be not just tolerant, but I can be forbearing. That's an old word, and I like that word more than tolerant, because tolerant just seems like we just kind of let it go and we let it happen. Forbearing says I'm going to walk along beside you and I'm going to help you get through this and I'm going to help you grow. So it's key to know the difference in a person and who they are and what their value is in the relationship. I'm going to dig into all of this a bit more on Thursday with my live 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to talk about two very specific, because there's a lot of behaviors that can be toxic, but two that come up quite a bit, especially with the work that I do. And one is the silent treatment and manipulation. Both of these behaviors can be absolutely deadly to a relationship that is productive, to a relationship that wants to grow and wants to thrive. Those are two. But I want to encourage you, if you have any other behaviors that you think might be toxic or that you would like for me to maybe touch on or talk about or dig a little bit deeper, comment. I'd love to hear what you have. And if I have time on Thursday, I will see what I can do. So feel free to make that comment or shoot me a message and we'll dig into that. But I want to see you on Thursday night for our discussion, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here live. Thanks for joining me.